there, it's good to see you. Thanks for joining me for this Friday edition of Jamaica Magazine. In today's program, we look at the initiatives underway in the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport this fiscal year, and later we talk reggae. Stay with us.
When you're on the road, take your time. When you're on the road, bear this in mind. When you're on the road, you could save a life when you're on the road.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, July 20. Residents of St. Catherine are to receive a newly renovated parish court. A contract valued at $43 million was signed yesterday for the upgrading of the decades-old Justice Building. The work will be undertaken by SM Quality Construction and is expected to be completed over a 4-month period. Portfolio Minister Delroy Chuck says the refurbishing of the St. Catherine Parish Court is part of a 5-year comprehensive infrastructure development plan for the justice sector.
Right across Jamaica, we intend to ensure that the courts become temples of justice. It's very important that when people come to the courts, they can have trust and confidence, not only in the delivery of justice, but feel that they're in space, that they can be comfortable and justice can be delivered.
Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett has welcomed the new non-stop flights by German airline Eurowings and Panama's Copa Airlines to the Donald Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay, St. James. Eurowings made its inaugural weekly scheduled flights between Munich and Montego Bay on Wednesday. On the same day, Copa Airlines commenced its daily flights between Panama City and Montego Bay. Minister Bartlett says the new airlifts from the emerging markets of Germany and Latin America are guaranteed to elevate Jamaica's tourism earnings.
The objective of having 5 million visitors to Jamaica and earning $5 billion in a single calendar year, which will make a huge difference to the economic growth of our country and also the expansion of our GDP will be realized.
Eurowings' additional flight comes just 1 year after the airline launched 2 scheduled weekly flights between the German city of Cologne, Bonn, and Montego Bay. Prior to Wednesday, Copa operated 4 flights into Montego Bay and the same number into Kingston weekly. That number will move to 7 into Montego Bay and the same 4 into Kingston weekly. Minister Bartlett says this increase in flights means Jamaica will see approximately 960 additional airline seats per week and access to robust Latin American markets, including Chile and Argentina. Risk reduction management centers aimed at strengthening the country's resilience against disasters are to be established in 2 eastern parishes. Portland and St. Thomas are the selected beneficiaries of the centers, which will be outfitted with disaster mitigation mechanisms such as early warning systems. They are to be built starting early in 2019 by the government through a partnership with the United Nations Development Program, UNDP. Deputy Resident Representative Dr. Elsie Lawrence Shonu says the centers will offer a holistic response that is necessary to withstand the forces of modern-day disasters.
We cannot say resilience is just about disaster management. It goes way beyond management. It's about really getting people to be economically stable, socially stable, environmentally stable.
She adds, too, that the early warning system in Old Harbour St. Catherine will be expanded into a broader disaster risk reduction program. She was speaking on Tuesday at the local governance conference in St. James. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is encouraging more high schools to implement sixth form programs to increase the benefits derived from secondary education.
I believe that's where I developed most of my leadership skills and abilities, and that's where I got the grooming for leadership. And I believe that sixth form is such a critical part of the school experience that now more and more our students are not just leaving school at fifth form, they want to go on to sixth form, and therefore our school must have the capacity to support that kind of interest.
The Prime Minister was speaking on the weekend at St. Catherine High School's Class of 1988 30th Anniversary Banquet. He used the occasion to announce that he would be spearheading a project to construct a modern sixth form facility at the school. Mr. Holness said a team was working on the design, a location had been identified, and the seed money had already been committed. The sixth form block is expected to be completed in 2 years' time. And finally, Prime Minister Andrew Holness will bring Caribbean perspectives to the fore when he participates in the 10th BRICS Summit, slated for July 25 to 28 in Johannesburg, South Africa. Mr. Holness, who currently chairs CARICOM, was specially invited to share in discussions at a BRICS Plus initiative. He's among a group of leaders from Argentina, Indonesia, Egypt, and Turkey, as well as the United Nations Secretary General, who will give an address under the theme Securing Sustainable and Inclusive Growth for the Prosperity of the Global South. BRICS is an acronym for a grouping of the world's emerging economies, namely Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The summit is convened annually with discussions spanning several areas to include political, economic, environmental, and socio-economic coordination. Prime Minister Holness will also hold bilateral discussions with several leaders during his visit to the BRICS Summit. He will be accompanied by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Let's get a little breeze on this land. All right. Now let's get some bounce in the rhythm. All right. Let's get some fire on our hearts. Now that is what we call all right. Run, come, get some Jamaica.
The Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport has numerous plans to transform the sector this year. Among them is the further modernization of the sport industry and regularizing the entertainment sector. Watch now as we give you a breakdown of a few other major projects being carried out. Culture, gender, entertainment and sport. Without these sectors, who would we be? And without continued support, where would we be? It's no wonder the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport is on a mission this fiscal year to build brand Jamaica.
Anywhere in the world we go, listen little birds and them. Sweet Jamaica, how we own. Play the brass now.
One of the priorities this year is to finalize a policy and regulatory framework for safeguarding our children in sport.
Numerous steps will be taken by the ministry to achieve this feat. Among them is a countrywide conference to be hosted later this year to bring all the stakeholders together for a national discussion. The ministry has also established a task force that will coordinate initiatives, adopt best practices, and monitor and evaluate policies that are geared towards keeping children safe. The minister says there has also been ongoing training of sport personnel, particularly in the use of effective programs that have positive outcomes.
We must ensure that children in sport are not harmed in any way, are able to enjoy sport and make participation in sporting activity a way of life, and are in the care of fit and proper people, not being exposed to any form of abuse.
While that work continues, more than $128 million has been allocated to the Sports Development Foundation, SDF, to upgrade the nation's sporting facilities.
The works will see improvement to the National Stadium, the layout of synthetic basketball courts at stadium courts, and upgrading of fields across the country.
$48 million has already been allocated to Independence Park Limited to fund access to sport facilities by national teams. And 44 national sport associations and federations will benefit from a subvention of $189 million this year. And there's more. The ministry is expecting to sign off on the architectural and exhibit designs of Jamaica's first national sports museum this year.
We have completed a strategic business plan assisted by the Canadian Sport, Museum, and Hall of Fame. In the meantime, we have developed content for the museum, including audiovisual features on some of our standing sports personalities, including George, Leslie Bonnie Grant, Lindy Della Pena, and Stephanie Taylor.
The ministry will be launching a memorabilia collection drive later this year, and artifacts will be digitized for a virtual museum while the physical facility is being built. In the business of gender affairs, the ministry has purchased a property in rural Jamaica, which will soon be used as a national shelter for women fleeing domestic abuse. The shelter was purchased following a recent health report which states that 1 out of every 2 women who are being abused by their intimate partner never leave home. The minister says the much-needed shelter will house the women and their children and provide counseling and other services.
Gender issues are about men and women, boys and girls, and how we will live as equals in harmony to build our country. I'm pleased to announce the establishment of the Jamaica Creative 100 program with funding of $26 million. This is to help with the further development of creative people across Jamaica who have imprinted their unique brand in the global marketplace or have the potential to do so.
The funding will help small business entrepreneurs in the creative sector to create unique cultural merchandise for the global marketplace. Selections will be through an open call based on growth potential, entrepreneurship, quality, and proposal.
We have begun preparatory work towards Jamaica's ratification of 2 international conventions to deal with the illicit trafficking of cultural heritage.
This is being done to protect the artifacts of Jamaica's cultural heritage and ensure those lost are returned to the country. The ministry will also amend the Jamaica National Heritage Trust Act to prevent the trade in cultural material.
My ministry has already transferred a sum of $12 million to the Administrator General as trustee to establish a Rastafari Trust Fund. And Mr. Speaker, we are committed to transfer $30 million annually over the next 3 years to ensure the sustainability of the fund.
Minister Grange says she's also in discussion with her Education Ministry counterpart to create 3 annual scholarships at the primary, secondary, and tertiary levels to benefit the wider national Rastafari community. And a mechanism will be put in place to more effectively manage communication with the Rastafari community. Top on the ministry's entertainment agenda this year is to regularize the sector. 223 individuals and 39 companies have already registered on the National Registry of Entertainment and Creative Industry Practitioners.
This registry seeks to streamline the incentive process, allow for hassle-free movement across borders, and regularize creative practitioners, given the CARICOM Heads of Government mandate to develop a registry for service providers across the region.
The Entertainment Ministry is also working to capitalize on the value of international reggae festivals.
We will continue to give tour support to our artists who perform at these events as a promotional tool to build brand Jamaica and destination Jamaica.
Sweet Jamaica, we owe, and the wine of the world, this your little birds and them. Sweet Jamaica, how we owe. One more time.
Living in Jamaica is an experience that you cannot put in words. There's an energy in the atmosphere that just feels good. There are so many aspects of Jamaica that I think makes it second to none. The best food, the best music, the best people. We can go on and on about the good things about living in Jamaica. There's a parish in Jamaica called Portland. I think that's one of my favorite places to be. It's one of the most nature-oriented parishes, and I love the nightlife in Kingston. Once you come here and you get that connection with the people, that connection with the food and the music and just the lifestyle is something that you'll always remember. people should visit Jamaica because I'm sure 100% that it is the place to be on planet Earth. You need to come here and you will get an experience that you will never forget.
Reggae Sumfest 2018 is well underway in Montego Bay, and as usual, patrons have traveled far and wide to partake in this 25-year-old annual event. Not only does it continue to be one of Jamaica's biggest music festivals, it's also an important part of our cultural and entertainment landscape. Here's a closer look at the history of reggae, the dynamic genre of music that gives life to events such as this.
From deep within the archives, on reels no longer supported by the platforms of a technological modernization in the transmission of sounds and images, comes the story of a people and their relationship with the music they have bred.
Reggae! Reggae! Reggae music is bass, brother. Yes, sir. Reggae music is roots. Not the dread. Yes, sir. It's our kind of music, that, brother. What me say?
If reggae can ever be edged to a set place, then 13 Brentford Road is its home. It was here at Studio One in 1968 that Rocksteady briefly went back 20 years, married the folk rhythms of Mento, and gave birth to reggae.
The new art form experienced its share of birthing pains as the so-called elites of society struggled to accept its revolutionary presence, while those from whose experiences it sprung cleaved onto this evolution in expression.
Reggae music is something that I think most of our people are ashamed of. I don't know why this should be, because it is coming from our roots. So much people are naked like them shame.
I agree. Truly. Sure, them just shame what truly belongs to them. What me say?
That's how we steal sometime, do I?
Truly.
Well, I think that the rhythm is very good, and we like it a lot in Jamaica here.
As myself coming from New York, I only thought that I would dig soul music, just, you know, funky music. But as I hear the reggae scene, reggae music, I like it.
I like reggae music very much because, right, it shows a lot of culture, right? It tells from the plantation days, the type of music the people used to sing, right? And it started to reveal what really was going on in that time, right? Up till now, right?
It's something you can't just sit down and listen to. You have, you know, you get the feeling to move.
Reggae music is our high-style music. Same way like how soul music belongs to CS, reggae music belongs to J. And my favorite artist are Bob Marley and the Wailers.
Probably because it's part of me, you know, and we create it, I don't know. But I think I enjoy playing reggae very much.
I really dig reggae music, but whenever time I hear reggae music, I feel like dancing, you know?
I'm in a dancing mood.
Generations later, and the narrative retains echoes of past sentiments with the addition of new layers.
Reggae change, I can't say like it changed a bit, you know, but still reggae beat. The old one is better, the new one not much to me. I just love the old stuff.
When I'm working, I listen to my music, keep me going, you know.
If me go dance on them music then I'm play, me don't really stay there.
It means everything. It's a part of Jamaicans' history, so it defines who we are as Jamaicans.
It means everything. It means love, it means peace, it means understanding.
Reggae is a lifestyle. Reggae is a lifestyle, you know, Jamaican lifestyle. Yeah, even the lifestyle you live, because even they tell you in the farm, you know, they work hard every day, hustle hard every day, and the music says reggae. So, reggae is life, man, you know?
Reggae has become what some prophesied, a few decried, and almost none could truly imagine.
Reggae is no longer seen in the world as alternative music or third world music or new wave music.
It's doing good. I think a lot of guys who make a lot of money from it, but it is good. I think maybe probably next to tourism.
People know Jamaica not only for our sand, sun and beach, but they know us for our music. So when you go abroad and people be like, you're from Jamaica, you know Bob Marley, you know such and such, all because of our music. So reggae is our definition of Jamaica.
It is the strongest component in the brand Jamaica construct.
Reggae artists and those who specialize in its offshoot dancehall have won major musical awards. In life and past death, its greatest ambassador retains an undeniable international presence that has demanded respect from world-renowned publications. Since 2009, the entire month of February has been dedicated to its celebration at home. It was instrumental in garnering capital Kingston the designation by UNESCO as a creative city of music. And in 2017, the Jamaican government submitted a nomination dossier to have reggae inscribed on UNESCO's representative list of intangible cultural heritage for humanity.
This international protection instrument will ensure that the origins of reggae and its derivatives are appropriately documented and safeguarded for present and future generations. It is fascinating to reminisce on the early days when Jamaican music struggled to germinate, and the pioneers were classified in some cases as undesirables right here at home.
But even then, in its infancy,
well, I think that reggae is a good music, here to stay, and I think reggae music belongs to us, and we ought to show it, right?
And now,
reggae is hot commodity and the world has embraced it, but we are proud to declare that we still own it.
Respect must be given whenever respect is due. One more time, let's give it up for Jamaica and reggae music.
Did you know that more than 70 reggae-related events were held last year in Kingston alone? These events helped to create 30,000 temporary jobs and contributed to over $20 billion in earnings. It's evident that our music industry continues to flourish year after year, and as such, we need to invest more in our creative industries. Let us continue to support our artists, our songwriters, and our musicians. If we value them, they will continue to be of value to our nation, making our island home their place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash, no paper, no dash, no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep
eat.
we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
Anna, why you knocking down my door? What is it?
Jackie, I don't know what to do.
From Jason dead, I have nothing to give to the children, and I don't know where to turn.
So why you didn't go down to the Administrator General's department, the place I told you about the other day?
Lord Jackie, me know you try to help me, you know, but member say me and Jason never did marry, you know.
What do you mean by that, Anna? The law say if a single man and a single woman live together as husband and wife for 5 years and more immediately before death, then he or she is considered a spouse.
Really? That mean me can't get something then? Cause boy, it rough, you know.
Yes, man, just go down there, tell them about the case, that Jason died, leaving no will, house, and children under 18 years. Go down there and see what them can do for you.
A true you're talking, Jackie. Where is the place there again?
Down a waterfront, man. 12 Ocean Boulevard. Go down there, talk to them, and see if them can help you.
Okay, I'm going down there right now.
Good morning, madam. How are you?
Good morning, miss. I hear that the Administrator General's department can help me. You see, my children, them father died, leaving me with the 2 pitney them, and I'm me alone I care for them.
Did he leave a will?
Will, ma'am. After Jason never ready for dead, I come from work and drop down dead. My friend tell me say under the law I'm considered a spouse. By the way, who is a spouse?
Under the Interstates, Estates and Property Charges Act, a spouse is a single man and woman living together as husband and wife for 5 years or more. By living together, the two persons should not have been separated at any time during the 5 years immediately before death. A surviving spouse includes a person who is legally married. That is, he or she went in front of a pastor and took the vow of marriage. If Anna meets the requirements, she can hire an attorney at law or go to the legal aid clinic to apply for an order from the court declaring that she's a spouse. Some of the questions the court will look at are: did Anna and Jason break up during the 5 years? Did Jason have any children, born in the same year as Anna's children? The court will also want to know if Anna or Jason were married before and not divorced. Once the order has been granted, the spouse would be entitled to benefit from the estate of the deceased. For further information, you can visit the Administrator General's Department in Kingston, 3rd floor at the Office Center Building, 12 Ocean Boulevard, or call us at 922-183023. You can also visit our Western office at the 2nd floor of the National Housing Trust Building at 42B Union Street, Montego Bay, St. James. Telephone 630-4261. Our website is at www.agd.gov.jm. That's the Administrator General's Department, securing your legacy.
And just like that, we have arrived at the last page of today's magazine. But don't worry, you can turn the pages with us again tomorrow and every day after tomorrow. While you wait, visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for our daily video uploads and news stories. You may also follow us on all our social media sites for the latest information on government programs and initiatives. I'm Sandra Clark. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.